In this section, we're going to be going over the easy and quick methods of cutting and pasting, dragging and dropping, and creating new folders and new documents, and pop-up menus and pull-down menus, and just basic using Windows 7 and the ease of how it's structured. So, to start out with, we need to right-click on the desktop because we're going to create a new folder, new, and folder. Okay? We're going to rename this, and as long as it's highlighted blue like this, you can rename it. If it's not highlighted, say if you did it quick, a lot of times you're clicking around different applications and you click off of it, the name's no longer highlighted. We want to rename it, so we're going to right click, hit rename, or you can click once and then hold it over the top, click again, sometimes two clicks. In this situation, Windows 7 has it so that you only have to click once, and then you just simply pause for a second and it'll do a rename for you. So once it's highlighted, you just type in what you want. We're going to type in, let's say, test. This is a test folder. And this one, we're going to make another one here, and we're going to call this test 2. Okay? Put those where you can see them over here. Now, if I was going to drag one folder into another, I can just simply click, hold, drag, drop. Okay, it's that simple. Once we're in there, in this folder, we want to get it out of there. We right click, hit cut, because if we copy, it's going to leave it in the folder and create a second set outside where we're going to paste it. So we don't want two sets, we just want one. We're going to cut it, go back over here and hit paste. Okay, that's simple. Now, the other way is to use the shortcuts on the keyboard. It's very important to know that Control V is paste, Control C is copy, Control X is cut, Control A is select all, and Control S is save. The only other one that I really utilize is Control W, which is close window, and Control Z, which is step backwards. And that's universal usually. Not all applications, but most applications use these. These are just called keyboard shortcuts, Windows keyboard shortcuts, quick key shortcuts. So to show you here, it's the same process. I'm just going to highlight it with the mouse to select it and hit Control and X. And then we're going to click this folder. We can either just click it just like this and highlight it, or we can actually go into it. So it's going to be over here, and then we click inside the negative space to activate it, and let Windows know that's where we want to paste it. And then we're going to hit Control V, and just like that, it pastes it directly into the window. Now if we don't like that, if we made a mistake, pasted it in the wrong place, we hit Control Z, and it takes it out and puts it right back on the desktop. You can see it popped up down here at the bottom. Alright, now if we do Control C, it's going to copy and paste it. So now we have two sets, one here and one here. That's what we don't want to do 90% of the time. Occasionally we do need it if we're making a backup of something, or if we want to save one file and then continue editing onto a different file so that we can always go back to the original. At that point we want two, and we continue to work on one, but we always keep the original just in case something happens, to have something to go back to. Say we edit an image and we just edit it too much to where it looks unreal or the client's not happy, we always have the original, and then just keep making steps along the way. After we get to a certain point, we'll save that file as another file, or we can, if we forget, we can just go and copy and paste it, and then continue editing that way. Often you'll hear me intertwine the words directory and folder. Another one that I do a lot is say negative space when I'm referring to an empty folder or empty space, where, like for instance, if I was trying to get you to do a drop down menu, so that you can, or a pop-up menu, so that you can select one of the drop down menus and get, say, like a new folder, or sorting is a big one. Most of the folders, most of the applications that you're going to be using, if you just click in a negative space, or I did it again, an empty space, you can get those menus and sort the images out. And I'll show you what I'm talking about here in just one second. Let me bring up a folder. Let's say City Club. This is one that I currently need to edit. It's in NEF files, and you'll see that on this drive, in the wintertime it's just me, so I have this inline process set up so that I only use this primary drive, the brain. Whereas in the summertime, there's a lot of people coming in and out. I want to make sure my system's hyper secure. So at that point, I use two additional drives, which is the primary and secondary. So that's why the both have similar structures, but this one, the brain is set up so that I use it myself. And where what we're going to be doing is using the primary drive with the brain. So we're going to skip the first couple folders like to be or to be edited, need to edit right here. Not a lot. You're not going to be putting a lot or using a lot of files that are in here. You're going to be doing mostly send to lab. But just for examples, we're going to be doing City Club here, and then I'm going to double click. And this is going to open up in AcDsee. This is the viewing program that I use for sorting and editing and general viewing. So, and just to give you an example, right here at the top, we're going to hit Manage. What we're going to do first, once we have the images up here, is make sure that they are in sequential order of how they were captured on the day of the event. Say if we have multiple cameras, multiple photographers, we need to get these files that are from two different cameras in sequence of the event, of how they actually were captured in the time and the sequence of the day. So now we need to go click on this blank space over here, the negative space, and hit sort by, and it should say date created or created date. And that is the date that the camera captured the image and recorded it onto the drive, onto the compact flash card that's in the camera. So that's the closest and that's the earliest we can get is the date that it was created. So if it's not up there, we're going to hit more. We're going to go to File Properties, and then that's going to be right here, created date. Okay, it's already there, so we're going to hit cancel. Now to bring that up, right click, sort by, created date. Step 1, that is the first thing that we do anytime we are going in to edit images.